Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a Bowls Victoria BowlsLink training webinar. Today I'm going to repeat our third webinar, which looks at Pennant competition. Really important for our new regions and divisions who are just jumping onto BowlsLink. We're going to look at how to enter teams and results. A big thank you to all our members who have joined this morning. I think, again, the response has been fantastic. Over 90 members, so thank you. I hope your clubs appreciate what you're doing this morning. I also want to thank the members from the first go at webinar 3. A lot of members completed this survey, which will be emailed to the people today. And a lot of that feedback has been implemented into today's session. So hopefully we've got a new and improved version of webinar 3. No pressure. But yeah, thanks for those people. My name is Matt Ottobre. I'm the Education and Training Manager at Bowls Victoria. So I'll be your host and I'll lead you through today's session. I have down on the slide that I've got my co-host Jimmy Whitehead. Jimmy is actually quite ill today, so I'm minus a co-host today. I'll be on my own, so just be a little bit patient when it comes to questions and answers. I'll need to go through them on the fly at the end. I won't be able to track them while I'm doing the session, but that's okay. All right, bit of housekeeping. I normally go through this at the start of a webinar. So for those people who this is the first Zoom webinar you've been on, you'll notice it's quite different to Zoom meetings. There's very little interaction from the audience. You have no video or no sound. You just watch what I'll be doing today. There is a question and answer box. So as I mentioned, I'll be looking at that at the end. I won't be able to track that while I'm going. So if there are some questions, just put that in there and then I'll be able to address those at the end of the session. We are recording like we have been doing with our previous webinars. And I'm hoping that today's one will probably replace the webinar that we've got up there at the moment. Also, sometimes the video, my video, might get in the way, so you might need to move that if you need to at all today. All right, learning intentions. This is what we're going to go through. Just move my video up a bit. All right, we're going to firstly look at who can enter results because we're getting a lot of emails about this. Then I'm going to look at the result process, how it works. Then I'm going to go through 5 rounds in a competition that I've set up in the beta system. And in those 5 rounds, I'll be covering the following. So I'll be looking at how to log in. So I'll be doing a lot of logging in and logging out of BowlsLink. So we're still getting a lot of emails about people not being able to log in. I'll be doing a lot of finding the competition. So that's another area that people are finding difficult. There'll be plenty of entering teams and results. I'll look at how you can swap your skips if you need to. Number 8's a really important one, and I'm getting a lot of phone calls and emails about this as well. We're going to look at how, and this will probably relate to number 1, but we're going to look at how you can allow more members in your club to manage the competition. And what I mean by manage is entering teams and results. We're going to look at what to do if there's an unplayed game, a forfeit. How do we put substitutes from another club into our team? What do we do if we're missing a player? And what do our results look like? And then at the end, I'll go through some of those questions that you've added, and I'll also highlight some best practice. All right, let's get into it. Who can enter results? Oh, sorry. I did have this slide in the first version of webinar 3, But thank you to Mel Allen, our communications and marketing manager. Mel has been able to draw this up, and I hope this explains the process a lot clearer. So firstly, BowlsLink data, so that's your membership, that's your club administrator, or most of the time it's your club secretary. Now, they can enter teams and results. They don't have to be the person, but they have the facility to do that. Then we've got our next person, and we call this person the primary contact. This is who we link the competition to. So when we set up a comp, our primary contact is who we link your club to. They sometimes can be the same person, and that's fine. But the club administrator is the only person who sees the database. So if these are two separate people, my primary contact won't be able to see the database. Okay, at some clubs, that might be where it stops. And it's just this person entering teams. But you might find that that's not efficient enough, and you might then want to give it to maybe your team managers. So this person can then allow other people to manage the entry. So that's our third one. So here I've got my primary contact has now allowed two more members to manage the entry, so they can do teams and results. If needed, these people can then do the same and allocate more people. So that's the way who can enter results. All right, how does the result process work? I've made a couple changes to this as well. So the home team and the away team, they both do their teams prior to the game. That's why we've got that double-headed arrow there. The home team does the matching the skips, and then it goes to the away team and they check that that's correct. So if it's not correct, they have the ability to change the skips there. Entering results after the game is only the home team. Then the away team can check that the results are correct. Hitting complete is only the home team. Once the away team is happy with the results, they hit confirm, and then the match is finalised. So you'll see here that the home team, their main responsibility is putting results in, where the away team, their main responsibility is checking that it's all correct, and they are the one that finalise the results. We will go through best practice a little bit later on, but if there is an error, don't be too upset. The people looking after your competition can still fix up errors after the game has been finalised. All right, this is how we're going to work today's session. So I've set up 5 rounds. Round 1 is just going to be a standard game. So I'm going to be importing some players. I'll show some swapping skips and what you do with an unplayed player. Round 2 is going to be an unplayed game. So I'll look in round 2 how to allow other people to manage the entry. This becomes really useful importing teams instead of importing players. That's a really good shortcut. And then I'm going to look at what to do if it's an unplayed game. So it's a washout or a heat out. Round 3 is going to be a forfeit. So what to do with a forfeit, and also what to do if there's a substitute. Round 4, this is a new addition. This is what I have added to the previous version of webinar 3. We've got a buy. So what to do if your competition has a buy. Again, I'll do revise that Pennant rights and what to do. And round 5 is just going to be a standard game, but there's going to be a late change. So I'll show you how to change your players if there's a late change on the day. All right, let's get into it. All right, so I'm in the BowlsLink beta system here. If this is your first time logging into BowlsLink, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to put your email address in. Now, if there's issues with your email address, you'll need to go back to your club administrator. They're the people that you need to see if you're having issues. If you don't have an email address in the system, they're definitely the person to see. You'll put your email address in. You won't have a password when you log in for the first time. You'll need to do a password reset. If you have an issue with that, generally it's an incorrect email in the system. So again, go back to your club administrators. They're the people that look after your database and get that fixed up. All right, I'm going to use national IDs to log in today. All right, I'm logging in as Reese Armstrong. Now, Reese is just a standard user because he didn't get the option to change his profile. So he'll be logged in as BV Demo Club, and competitions is at the bottom. So if you're not seeing this, generally you're probably logged in as the club administrator. So we're getting a few questions and emails about that they can't see their competition. When you log in, your profile should come up like this, as it's done for Reese, and then competitions should be at the bottom. All I do is I click on competitions, and there's my competition today. All right. To enter teams and results, we click the spanner here, and I think this is manage results is going to get changed to enter teams and results. If I click manage entry, all I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to change my primary contact if I need to. I don't think many clubs need to be changing that. And then I can see my list of players. And you'll see here, because this is the first game, I don't have any players imported. I don't need to go in here and add them all in, because when I do my first game and I import through there, we should see when Reese logs on again that this list will increase. So I know some people have been really keen to get started and they've been adding players through here. I wouldn't do that. I would just go and do your first game. All right, let's do the first round. Back to competitions. I'm going to go manage results instead of manage entry. And here's round one. Okay, to enter teams and results for the round one game, I'm going to hit the spanner again. This will probably also be changed to enter teams and results. We're getting a lot of confusion with view results. And here we are. All right, you'll see Vic Club 4, who BV Demo Club is playing today, have already entered their team in. And when I mention best practice, that's what we want you to do. So I'm going to go through how do you import your players, or how do you enter your players into the team. So there's two options. You can select team, or you can go to the action spanner and you can hit manage teams. I'll just select team. I'll move my video so you can see. All right. So now I need to enter all my players in. I need to enter my lead. If I hit this drop down arrow, all I'm going to have is my primary contact, because I haven't imported any players yet. So I can put Reese in. Now I'm going to have to hit this blue button, which is import players. You really only have to do this probably week 1, week 2. I did mention if your selectors don't change their teams too much, what I do in round 2 when I import the team, it'll be a lot quicker. So in blue button, import. I click here. Now, I've had a few questions. Why isn't this list in alphabetical order? That's a good question. You can, so if I wanted to put Joe Bloggs in, I can type in the first 4 letters and it will shorten my list. That's a bit of a trick there. So Joe's going in. I'm just going to import the first person from each of here now. And then I hit save. All right, that's my first team or rink. So they refer to rinks as teams in the system. Select my second team. Now, if I go to my list, you'll see it has increased because that's my first rink, but I won't be able to add in Andrew because he's in that first rink, so I won't let you do that. So I'm going to have to import my players again. Oh, sorry, I'm probably going a little bit quick here. So all I'm doing is I'm hitting the blue button. I'm going to my list here. I'm hitting my drop down arrow, and at the moment I'm not really putting a specific team in. I'm just putting the first person that I see at the top of my list. And then I hit import and save. Okay, I've got my second team. Now remember, I'm the home club for this game, so I'm going to have to do results once I've done the teams. Select team, blue import button. I can't bring the other players into there. Don't know why Joe's there. Okay, so I've imported all my players and I hit save. All right, so that's, I've demonstrated logging in, importing players, and now we're going to do results. So you'll see that the blue button has changed from enter teams to update results. So that's pretty straightforward. I just hit update results. BV Demo had a solid win in that first team. Update results for the second team. That weren't so good. Don't blame the skips. And my third team. There was a tie in that third one. Okay, so you'll see up the top now, it has worked out your scores for the game. Pretty tight game, only one shot decided it. But BV Demo has now got 13 points for the game and 50 shots. Vic Club 4 has 3 points because they got a rink win and a draw. So all your points is worked out at the bottom. Right, as the home team, I'm pretty much right, apart from hitting complete, which is at the bottom. Done. All right, I'm going to log out of Reese's profile, and I'm now going to be the away team that is playing Reese. Because as we said, in the process, the away team now has to confirm that. All right, straight away I'm thinking this person might be a club administrator because they've now got the option to select their profile. So club administrators, just be really careful that you don't go in as your club administration profile, you go in as your My Clubs. And I think it was Vic Club 4, this person has 2 clubs, might be a dual member. I'm going to hit Vic Club 4. Okay, to find my competition, like before, it's at the bottom, hit competitions. There's my competition. I'm going to hit manage results. And there's my round 1 game. I click on the spanner and I hit view results. All right, as the away team, you've got to, as we said before, if we go back to our slide, you've got to enter your teams, which this team has done. You've got to check your skips match, check your results are correct. So actually here we've got a problem. Ian didn't play Amaya, so we need to change that. To change who plays who, we click the spanner and we click swap away teams. So Abdul needs to be up there playing Amaya. I'm going to hit swap. All right. Now, one thing I've noticed is Leslie was unavailable or pulled out really late. So I need to change that. I didn't have a second. We weren't able to put a substitute in. So I'm going to hit the spanner and I'm going to hit manage teams. And I'm going to turn Leslie to a unplayed player. That means my rink was short. Good effort with a tie and a short rink. Hit save. All right, as the away team, I'm happy with that. My skips match, my scores are correct. My teams are all good. I'm going to hit confirm. And as we know back here on the slide, that match has now been finalized. All right, I'm going to log out as from Brock's profile, and I'm going to do round 2 for the BV demo. Okay, logging back in as Reese. Go to competitions. Now Reese has decided that he's the primary contact, but he wants a few other people to manage. So if I go back to my slide here again, this is Reese here as the primary contact, but he's now going to make another person manage the entry. To do that, instead of going to manage results, we go manage entry. And you'll see that our list has now created because we've imported them. And Chaz is going to be our team manager for this particular team. So I'm going to hit the edit button. I don't want to change Reese as the primary contact. He's still going to be there. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to Chaz. I'm going to hit the drop down arrow and I'm going to tick allow Chaz to manage the entry. And I'm going to hit save. So I'll go through that again. All I did was I went to the player. So for example, Amaya, I'm going to allow her to manage the entry as well. Tick the allow the player to manage this entry and hit save. So I will demonstrate a little bit later in the session, logging in as Chaz and logging on as Amaya. All right, I'm just going to hit back because Chaz is still, Reese is still going to do this teams for this round, but then he's going to hand it over to Chaz for game 3. Manage results. We're now looking at round 2 game. And as I mentioned, this one is an unplayed game. So I'm going to hit view results. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how to import a team instead of all the players. So to do that, we click the top spanner and we go to import teams. What it will allow me to do over here is choose a team from a previous round. So I'm going to select the 30th of October, which was the previous round. and import teams. So that's really straightforward and easy. I don't have to do all those players back in. If I do have a change to that, I can hit manage teams, and then I can make my changes. All right, I mentioned that this is an unplayed game, so it's been a washout. You still need to go in and record that. So the way that we do that is the top spanner, and we mark as unplayed game. I need to put in my reason, washout, and the time that it was called. And I hit OK. And you'll see that now that information's up here. All right, as the home team, I still need to hit complete. All right, I'm going to log out as Reese, and I'm going to go in as the opposing person. Again, this person looks like they are a club administrator, so don't choose your club administrator, choose your My Clubs profile. Pick Club 6. Competition should be at the bottom. There's my competition. So this person is going to confirm, so manage results. There's the game there. I'm going to hit the spanner and I'm going to hit view results. All right, I don't need to change anything here. If I wanted to change any players, I could. I'm happy with that. All I go down to is hit confirm. Done. All right, I'm going to log out. And now I'm going to log in as Chaz because he's going to do round 3. Okay, Chaz is just a standard user because he's now gone straight in as the club profile. Competition's at the bottom. All right, Chaz is going to do round 3. Now, round 3, I mentioned, is a forfeit. So let's go in and do that. Manage results. We're looking for round 3 now. Got it. View results. Now you can see straight away why this game's probably a forfeit, because the team's got a substitute there and they've got an unplayed player there, unplayed player. So they've contacted BV Demo and they've now pulled out. I still need to put my teams in. I'm going to use that import teams option, which is really quick because my team hasn't changed from the previous week. There it is there. Now I'm going to choose forfeit match. I need to select which team is forfeiting. So I'm not forfeiting, but the opposition is Bandura. And I'm going to hit OK. All right. You'll see now that Bandura has now lost all their players because it's a forfeit. I'm going to hit complete. All right, Chaz is done for that. I need to log in as Bandura now and confirm that. Robin's actually one of our staff members at Bowls Victoria. Okay, Robin's going to log in. She's going to go to competitions and she's going to hit manage results. There's that round 3 game. You can see BV Demo has already been given the win because of the forfeit. Hit view results. And all I'm going to do, because I know my team as the Bandura person has forfeited, I'm just going to hit confirm. Done. All right, I'm going to log out. And now we're going to do round 4, which is a buy I'm still going to log in as Chaz. We're going to go to competitions. We're going to hit view result, manage results, sorry. And there's my round 4 game. Bye. But Chaz has decided that he doesn't want, he needs someone else to be managing this team. So we'll go back to my competitions. We'll go to manage entry. And I think he wants Amaya to do it. So hit edit. Go to Amaya. You'll see Amaya's already got that tick because I did it before. If Amaya didn't have that tick, all Chaz would be doing would be ticking that and then hitting save. All right, hit back. Let's do that round 4 game. Manage results. View results for round 4. Okay, so this is a buy, but in the conditions of play, BV demos still need to put a team in. So all we can either do a team at a time, or again, BV demos selectors have been really good. They haven't changed it, so we just hit import teams. Okay. Now, I was expecting to see a finalize down here, but it's not. So I'll be checking that. So just put your team in, and I think it's already been finalized. I'll have a look. Let me go back in. All right, last game. I'm going to log in as Amaya. We're going to do, I think, game 5 is a standard game. So let's go to competitions. We go to manage results. Yep, so the buy, you can see there is in blue, it's been finalized. I'll just double check that. I've been told that you have to put your teams in and hit finalize. So I'll get that double checked. All right, 5th game, we've got Fit Club 7. So let's hit view results. Okay, I'm just going to import teams because we haven't changed. There has actually been a late change out of this team here. So I'm going to hit manage teams. Joe has pulled out. Now I might just import just to see anyone who hasn't been imported. Michael's in, and I hit save. Okay, so now I'm going to do results. To do that again, it's just update results. BV demo had a tie in that first one. 1 point each. Barbara in the second one had a great win. And Carly also had a great win. Okay, as the home team, now that I'm happy with that, I hit complete. All right, I'm going to log in as the Vic Club 7 person. So I'm going to log out. Log in. 674. logging in as Xavier. Competitions at the bottom, so he's not a club administrator, he's gone straight to his profile. Competitions, hit manage results. There's that game. As the away team, you need to check your skips match. And we do have a problem here. Roy didn't play Carly, so we need to swap that. To do that again, spanner, and it's swap away teams. So I'm going to swap Harley and Roy. All right, as the away team, I'm happy, probably not happy with the result, but happy with how the scores look in the teams. So I'm going to hit confirm. All right. So that's our 5 games. You'll see that I did some, at the start in that first game, I did the importing the players. I did some swapping skips, and I also had an unplayed player. Round 2 was an unplayed game, but I changed the pennant right, so I allowed someone else to manage the team. I then did, from then on, pretty much importing teams for the rest of the games. I had an unplayed game, so I chose that at the top spanner. Round 3 was the forfeit. I think I put a substitute in there. And I chose forfeit as the home team, and I confirmed it as the away team. Round 4 was a bye. I changed some pennant rights in there. Just need to double check about that finalising of the bye. And a standard game was the last one. We had a late change in my team, and I think we swapped the skips in there. All right. Let's have a look at our public results now. I'll just hit refresh. So this is what your results are going to look like from BowlsLink. So this could be on your website. We do have a link on the Bowls Victoria website too for all of these. So this is round 1. There's the bye down there. Round 2. That was the unplayed game, so that's why there's 0 shots. Round 3. Reason, that's the forfeit. That's why BV Demo gets the 15 shots. BV Demo had the bye. And there's the last game. Ladders. Now, there is an issue in the beta version of this, so unfortunately I can't show you the competition ladder, which is obviously really important. What I can show you is the player and skip ladder. This is what caused a lot of interest late in Metro. All right, so what we have here is based on your results. So your shots for and your shots against, and your score difference is what determines. Now, what I can do is I can do that for skips. I know they are really interested in that. So Ian Mumford was the winner of that one. He had the best shot difference. Obviously a positive. I can change that, and I can do it for my lead, and so on. All right. Let's go back to here. I think so we've gone through 1 and 2, and I think we've covered all of these in those games. So what I'll do now is I'll have a look at the questions and answers, and then I'll finish with some best practice. So just bear with me because I haven't looked at any of these questions yet. Okay, Nathan has asked, will the system operate on a Mac? Yeah, it's internet based, so it will. I know we recommend Google Chrome for viewing BowlsLink. Okay. John has asked, what if we have two people with the same name? Oh, that's a good one. Can they be selected in the same team? I would say yes, because they would be linked to their database. So even though they've got the same name, they would still appear there. And I've got a feeling that's why Joe Blogs was in my list. He might be an example of that. So great question, John. They are separate, so they'd have their separate national ID numbers, but they would just obviously share the same name. Okay, so next one from Adrian is, if our clubs elect to allow users to go in the system via the club administrator logon, is that a problem? Definitely. Only the club administrator should be the person logging on. If you want access to teams and results, as I showed you in that slide, I'll bring that back up again. You really need to be in here. So I'd only be logging on as the club administrator if I'm the club administrator. If you're not the primary contact, then you need to become one of these red people. Okay, good question, Adrian. Good one from Barry Marsh. Can the home team match skips when entering results? Yeah, definitely. They are the ones. I only did it as the away team just to show you that sometimes you can make mistakes, and the away team does have the ability to change them as well. But yeah, really the home team should be matching up those skips. Pam Din, would the club that has forfeited the Pennant game be treated like a bye, as in much as the players were to play still has continued having played? Good question. You have to check your conditions of play. I know that sometimes if it's a forfeit, then you don't get that as a game, but that's a really good question. John Emerson's got another question. Great to see you, John, online. How can you swap a third in one team with a third in another? That's quite easy. So you just go into the first team and you would take the third out, and then once that person's out, then they're allowed to be swapped. So really probably would have been great to have this question before, and I could have shown you that one, but it probably doesn't sound great from what I've just said then. But once you take them out, you will have that ability. You might have to play around with that one, John. Will we receive a copy of the screenshots? Yeah, I'll put this PowerPoint up. That'd be great. Okay, great question from Sean. This is what I'm getting a lot of emails about. How do we change this person, the club administrator? Not an easy process, because obviously the club administrator is responsible for all the data, and we don't just want anyone to be able to have that access. So how do you do it? The short answer is there's a form that we might put up on our website, but it's a form that Amanda and myself, if you email us, we'll send to you that you need to fill out from your club. So obviously we don't want to just hand this right out to anyone, so we need your club to sign off that they want to change the club administrator. You can have, even though it says one there, you can have multiple club administrators. But again, that's up to your club decision, and your club needs to give us that permission. Great question, Sean. One from Ian, is there a print tab for results, comps, ladders and playing ladders? Great question, JR, and welcome to BV. Not at the moment, it is coming, and it's a question that we're getting a lot from people. A lot of people want to be able to print their teams off as soon as they put it in. So the answer is no at the moment, but that facility is getting built. So there's a whole report part of BowlsLink currently being built. So Not at the moment, but definitely coming. Okay, this is from David England. If a person is authorised to manage, does the person stay authorised or only for one match? They stay authorised for that particular comp. You can take it back off, obviously, but yes, no, they stay for that whole comp. And if you're not, so if you're, for example, only playing in Divi 5 and then you want to be managing Divi 2, you'll have to be imported into the Divi 2 and then allowed to manage. Great question. Okay, can a player be imported if already marked as financial? It just depends on your conditions of play. I know Vic Metro last year, we had restrictions. So you had to be financial and you had to have playing rights. So it just depends on your conditions of play and whether those restrictions have been put in place, Helen. So I know in Vic Metro last year, the only way you could be imported is if you were financial at your club and you had playing rights. So again, it comes back to a really important person, your club administrator, updating all that. Oh, sorry, not financial. I think I probably answered that. Again, it comes to your conditions of play and your restrictions put on it. Thanks, John, that makes sense. Yep, take one out and then you can put one in. I would have liked to have shown that. If I have another version of this, I'll definitely have that in. Good question from Judith. My version of BowlsLink is not beta. And that is correct because beta is only for Bowls Victoria and the other states. It's like our training area. So we go in there and if we're, for example, for myself, when I'm learning a lot of new things, that's where I go in and play around. So no, you don't get access to beta. You may get access to beta if your RBMs or myself come and do some training with you. We might set up a mock competition and then you can go in there and play around. Good question. Okay, and that's Yvonne's asked a very similar question. Is there a demo model? Not at the moment. We could look at that for future, but if myself or the RBMs are running a training session with you, then you can use the beta system. And that's a similar question to William with the practice, the entries. I think you'll get plenty of practice in the season. Once you do round one or round two, you'll be all over it. Ooh, good question. John, you are on fire this morning. Does the person managing the team have to be playing? Answer is no. They're not going to be in your list because you haven't imported them. So I might show you that one, John. I'm going to go to manage competitions here. So let's just say Xavier has someone, he wants to manage the team, but they're not in the playing list. Let's go manage entry. They're not here. So what you would do, John, you would hit edit. You would scroll all the way to the bottom and you would add the player. Now, easiest way to do that would be to link the member to their national ID number. Once you've linked them in, then you can allow them to manage the entry. Question. Let's got a little bit more time, so I'll keep going with the questions. So getting a lot of questions about the practice one. Yeah, look, I'm hearing what people are saying, and I'll look into it whether we can put one out there for you just to practice. But at the moment, it'll have to be done through the RBMs or myself. Yeah, good question, Lee Granger. Will the system show the number of games played in different divisions? For finals purposes, yes, that's currently getting built at the moment, and hopefully in the next month that'll be up and going. I know our selectors would love to see that. Elaine, is there a help button if you've forgotten to do something? I'm probably your help button. I'll show you my details at the end. Obviously, if you're in a division, your division people who have created this, your comp, I've done a lot of training with them, so they'll be able to help you as well. There will be a training manual going up hopefully today. So that's another form of help as well. Well, you're out of questions, John. All right, we've got one more. Adrian Graham, a tip. When you go into the computer, it shows you and click manage results. It shows the round. You can highlight and copy the rounds into Excel to reformat to suit. So I think Adrian's talking here about, I think this might have been JR's question with the team. So when you go into competition, it shows you, you click manage results, it shows you the round, and you highlight and copy the rounds into Excel to reformat to suit. All right, I might get Adrian to, maybe if you can do a quick video on that, I might send that out to people as well. Well done, Adrian. David's asking about the questions and answers for the emails. I'm getting on to that, David, so I'm sorry. That will be updated. Laurie, did I miss how to import players from another club? Oh, good question, Laurie. You can't import players from another club, only if they have a dual membership. Or so if they're on a playing permit, they will appear into your database. So again, look at your conditions of play for that. It's a great question. You can't unless they're in your database. And to do that, generally it's going to be a playing permit for Pennant. Okay, from Carol Rafferty, what if the away team makes a change that the home team does not agree with? Great question. The people on fire this morning. Obviously the home team can always go back in and check it, and then if they have an issue, and I will talk about best practice just to finish with, yellow sheets or reference to that game can be sent into the controlling body who can then sort it out. So yeah, away team really shouldn't be changing, it should be reflecting the game. So good question. Is there an app or access via, okay, we don't access this via the VB website. As you can see up here, it's just bowlslink.com.au, so it's internet based. So there's no app for it, but you can save it as a favorite or put it to your home screen if you're on your iPad. Okay, how's a game treated if a club can't field a team because they're under quarantine due to opposition player? Or I think that's going to have to come back to your conditions of play, not really with BowlsLink there. We can deal with unplayed games and forfeits, but obviously COVID's thrown us some further curveballs. Okay, Lee Granger's asked if I can go through as the side manager. Again, it comes back to this slide here that Mel has put up. You're only going to get access to teams and results if you're a yellow person, which is your club administrator, you're a green person, or you become one of these red people. Okay. Who do I contact at BV if you make a mistake, then complete and confirm results? Obviously, you'd be sending it to looking after matches, competitions. So you'd be sending that into VB, might even come to me, and then we can look after making those changes. But we do need proof of that. And I'll go through best practice because we've probably only got about 5 minutes to go. Oh, thanks, Colin, for your kind words. Will you be able to review this webinar? I think what I've got in this webinar is probably better than the first time I've done it. So this one will be, obviously it is recorded, but it'll be uploaded to our website. And I'll finish with showing you where that is. Thanks for your kind words, Russell. Oh, this is a good one. Is it possible to get a list of the people who have access rights to what they can access? Yeah, you have to see your club administrator for that one. And then when you start allocating people in teams, you might want to record that somewhere. That's a good question. David, did I miss the answer to Len about seeing how many times a player played? Yeah, so that's coming, David, in the reporting, and that'll be what you'll be able to get in there. Okay, so I've got a few questions about where we're going to put the manuals and this recording. So I'll finish with the questions. Thank you, they were fantastic. All right, best practice. I'll go through it very quickly, and I have mentioned some of this before. Teams really need to go in prior to the game, not on game day. And obviously I've shown you how you can make changes if you need to. And Jimmy, I think, mentioned that it doesn't have to be the club administrator, it could be your match committee. I still recommend completing the yellow sheets. BV haven't mentioned anything about yellow sheets in the current conditions of play. So we're not probably expecting Metro to send in their yellow sheets. But if you complete them, then you've got a reference. And if there's an issue, you can send that sheet into the controlling body. Obviously, make sure your results and teams are correct before hitting confirm. That was where you'll fix a lot of your errors. This one's a really important one. Confirm the results straight after the game, because people are relying on these results to come up as quickly as they can. So if you're the home team, then you're not giving the away team a chance. And if you're the away team and you're just waiting and you're not confirming, then these results aren't serving the purpose that we want. I think I covered this in the questions and answers. www.bowlslink.com.au. This is all internet based, so I get a lot of questions about this is loaded onto my club computer, I can't use it at home. No, you can. Just log onto that, and it's all about your profile. And I've referred to this one here. If results are incorrect, send the team sheet to your controlling body to confirm and adjust. Now, this is another last one I'll finish with. I've had a lot of questions. When the teams go in, does that take away your card draw? Again, you have to go back to your conditions of play. So in Vic Metro, no, the card draw needs to be done by your team managers, not by BowlsLink. All right, it's nearly close to 11. I'll finish up there. That's my details if you need to get in contact with me, my email address or phone number. Now, this is where we're linking all our resources. So it's under Club Assist BowlsLink. Scroll down, probably see too many photos of myself. There's webinar 1, which was all about club administrators. Webinar 2, which was about email campaigns. And there should be one here. There it is, webinar 3. So I think today's recording was really useful, and that'll probably replace that one. And I'm expecting very shortly a manual to go under here. So I'll send things out to people to let them know. All right. Well, that's the end of our webinar. Thank you so much for joining in and helping out your club. And I hope you have a great day. See ya.